Hi guys, this is Matt with Deep Woods Paranormal, coming to you from the Deep Woods Paranormal office today. This is normally where we do our podcasts. Every once in a while, we'll do a podcast out in the actual field, but that's very rare. So anyways, I want to welcome everybody back to the Paranormal Podcast. I apologize for Amanda and I not being on for about 2 or 3 weeks. We had just investigation after investigation. We just stacked them up because we knew the end of the year was coming. And if you're on our YouTube channel, you'll see quite a bit of stuff. I think there's 3 more investigations that we're still editing and stuff like that. So that'll be posted soon. We're doing really well on our 300 subscribers giveaway. Where I think we're at 273 people right now. We've done really, really well. We're getting 30, 40, 50 people a month right now joining our YouTube channel, and we just want to thank you guys so much for doing that. And if you're listening to our podcast, we appreciate you listening to our podcast too. We really appreciate your support. I just want to thank everybody for that. If you're actually watching the YouTube podcast on our YouTube channel, it's Deep Woods Paranormal. You can find us just by doing a search. We are giving away hats at 300 subscribers. Originally, we had talked about doing only, I think, 1-to-1 lucky person, but I think we're going to do more than that. I think we might do 3. Yes, I am rocking a new Deep Woods Paranormal hat. Yes, we do have some really cool ones. If you're into aliens and UFO research, we just got this one in. It says Deep Woods Paranormal UFO Research Team, and it's got a alien head on the side, which is really cool if you're listening. If you want to see this podcast again, go to our Deep Woods Paranormal YouTube page. Please like and subscribe over there. We really appreciate that. This is the one I've been wanting to get forever. Yeah, I'm super excited about this one. This is our Deep Woods Paranormal Bigfoot Research Team, and it's got a picture of a foot basically sunken in. So basically you can see the foot. Very, very cool. We have a lot more hats and stuff that we'll probably be making here in the future. I think we have over 30 or so options for hats on our store. And again, that's at deepwoodsparanormal.com. If you'd like to go buy a hat or a shirt or whatever to help support our team, we really, really appreciate that. So I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of feedback, and we appreciate the comments on our Facebook page, on our our YouTube page. We appreciate all the comments. We really appreciate you guys asking us questions and stuff like that. So what are our next year plans? Beginning of the year, we're doing a ghost hunt at a hotel. I don't want to give away the information because I don't want to have anybody showing up and disrupting the investigation. But we're going to be checking out another thing that sounds really cool along a river where we're going to be staying. And I'll explain all that. Because we just have the one room, I think what we're going to end up doing at that location is setting up at least 1 or 2 DVR cameras to cover the whole room, because it is the most said to be haunted room in the whole hotel. I can't talk today. Bear with me. I'm getting over some congestion and stuff. So essentially, that's the first plan, is to hit that. We're also talking to some local locations around us about doing some ghost hunting there. And for our Bigfoot fans, yes, I know you're out there. We are planning on doing quite a bit of Bigfoot research, probably all the way up to summer. We'll have quite a different. We'll be going back and forth between locations we've already studied at or researched at, and maybe checking out some newer locations. If you've seen Joe's Camp, that video that was taken, that was a bunch of videos that we took over a 1.5 year time frame. We're working with Joe on getting more information on people around him, locations around him too, because he's in a severe Bigfoot hotspot area. Looking at the reports, there's like 1,000 reports just around his area alone. And that's what people actually have reported. if you look at, again, bear with me, I'm getting over being sick. So if you look at um, his area, I mean, it's just people don't report sightings up there. A lot of people don't like to talk about seeing a Bigfoot or Bigfoots. They don't want people to know that they have Bigfoots coming through their property and stuff like that. I think his area is a major migration area, although he does see them sometimes on a daily basis, and then they disappear, and then 2 weeks later he contacts me back. Hey, they're here, they're here. I just saw two of them in the wood line. So, I mean, I would love to go live on Joe's property. I really would. But unfortunately, it's way far away from my job and stuff. So I think in the future, I've asked him about camping on his property for a couple, 3 or 4 days, and maybe setting up a dummy camp at his location and putting up trail cams where up high so they're not seeing them. But we really have to kind of distract them away from that area while we're setting that stuff up, because we don't want them seeing the cameras going up. Because if they see the cameras, they won't come in. I don't think they really mind the cameras that much. I think they're afraid of us. As we spent almost 2 years up there researching, they got more and more used to us. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've said this story before, but we were hiking up through the back of Joe's property onto the road that runs parallel with his property, and there's an old abandoned house that's pretty damaged. It's collapsed on itself. We've never been able to get in because, number one, it's just not safe. I don't want that falling on our heads. But there's a cemetery. His family plot cemetery is up there as well, and they come down to that wood line. They come through there. I think I've talked about this before, but there's a set of power lines that runs through that area, and a lot of people say that the power lines are basically their, let's call it a highway, or a way they come along, go through areas without being seen very easily. A lot of the areas we actually go investigate have that, because it could be a stop, or if they're not in that area and we're making a crap ton of noise down the way, they could use that to come down and essentially get to us easier. Maybe they'll, because it's an open area and easy for them to walk on, they may cruise down into our area. Anyways, UFO research. We plan on doing some more UFO research. Unfortunately, the UFO investigation we were going to go do in an area where it's basically a hotspot here in Texas was canceled due to weather. We had a thunderstorm come through that night, and you can't see anything. So, so we're definitely looking for new locations. I always have my ear open for any UFO news. Locations around here that you could possibly go and see them. So far, I've only homed in on one possible location. Other locations are 3 or 4 hours away, and it doesn't make sense to drive 3 or 4 hours away unless we're going to spend a couple nights there, maybe even longer, to do the research, and that just doesn't work for us because of having dogs and stuff and nobody to take care of them. So we don't like to leave our little ones behind for too long without us. All right. So that said, if you live in Texas, especially on the Houston side or the Dallas side, cut the state in half, anywhere from, San Antonio to Dallas to Houston, this area, that's the area we're kind of researching right now. We have taken trips across Texas and gone to look for other things. And I'm sure you guys have seen those videos too. But anyways, so we're always looking for locations. If you're interested in having your location researched, please feel free to message me. Go on our Facebook account. You can message me there. You can email me. You can call me. My cell phone number is all over the place, so feel free to text me. Be very interested in hearing anything you have to say regarding Bigfoots, UFOs, hauntings, or ghosts, or anything else that's strange. People report strange lights to us all the time, and by the time we get the investigation set up, unfortunately, they're gone. But I always tell people, okay, well, just document as much as you can with your cell phones or whatever until we can get there. And usually it takes about a week to mobilize and get somewhere. Sometimes, depending on if it's a shorter distance or not, we can go out that night. But I work a lot of nights, so it's hard for me to take off and go see somebody because I get off so early in the morning. So weekends are usually the times that we go investigate, which is probably true with most paranormal investigators. Okay, so like I said, if you have a location anywhere from the middle of Texas all the way over to the east side of Texas, or Louisiana, maybe even, we want to hear from you. Lots of ways to contact us. So let's talk about some things that people keep asking me about. One is the Wendigo. What is it? I've not done a lot of research into this. I've heard stories over the years. I've heard people talk about them. Never actually talked to a witness, unfortunately, because like I said, it's not really something we've looked into yet, but it's definitely a creature I would be interested in. Some people think that the Wendigo is some kind of a Bigfoot, maybe a hairless Bigfoot. It could be an alien. It could be a human hybrid. Maybe it's something that escaped some kind of lab out here in Texas. They are seen, and a lot of the times they're seen out by areas where there's military research bases. So did one of their things that they created to escape? I don't know. I'm not going to blame the military for them, but it's definitely an interesting thing. I think what we'll do is we'll dedicate a show to talking about some of the things I'm going to talk about here, and just maybe in the next few podcasts. Dogman. Is Dogman actually a Bigfoot? I don't really think so. I think they're their own species. I do follow quite a few people that research Dogman. I'm in a few groups that research Dogman, and from everything I've been told, they're a separate species from Bigfoots. We'll take a deeper dive into Dogman, its habitats, and stuff like that. A lot of the time they're seen with, not with, but around Bigfoot's territories, and they seem to be competing with each other. And the Bigfoots seem to be more protective of the humans than the Dogman. If you don't know what Dogman is, just imagine a werewolf. If you don't know what a werewolf is, it's basically like a giant dog standing upright, being able to stand upright. They range from anywhere from about 6 feet tall to, I've heard, all the way up to 18 feet tall, which is very large for a dog. Another story that was brought to my attention. I don't know if I believe in this, but again, another possible, maybe a Bigfoot story. The Bear King of Marble Falls. Is it a bear? Is it a human hybrid? Or again, another maybe something they crossed a bear and a human. I don't know. Could it be a Bigfoot? Honestly, I think more than likely, maybe it was either a Dogman or maybe a Bigfoot. So there was a story. Basically, this thing lives in folklore. Essentially, it's the Indians supposedly used to see this thing. Basically, somewhere in Marble Falls, a woman was actually carried off by a hairy human-like creature, and then ran on all fours. Supposedly, the woman was taken back to an area deep in the forest, and essentially was held captive and supposedly was beaten up by the beast. And supposedly it fell asleep, and she basically took off and was able to find her way back out to civilization. So, I would have to do a lot more research into this crypto creature and before I went into research it. But I think it's interesting. Again, what is it? I mean, a lot of the times Bigfoots are mistaken for bears, I believe. So I don't know. Who knows? Another story is the donkey lady of San Antonio. So this is basically like a ghost story with a cryptozoology mystery wrapped in. I don't know. Somebody just brought this to my attention. So there's a couple different stories. One says a woman was trapped in a house fire, and she was trapped inside with her kids. Her husband set the fire, and basically he basically wanted her dead. Another story says a mob of young men set fire to a barn, and the woman was inside. And basically they were trying to save the donkey, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I guess she may have died trying to save the donkey, I guess. And so maybe that's why she's called the donkey lady. But they report seeing hearing strange noises and seeing a ghastly figure. Again, bear with me. I'm getting over the last bit of this. In the Elm Creek area here in Texas. Supposedly some kind of figure has been said to jump on people's cars and leave marks on their hoods and dents. So again, this is something that somebody sent me. I appreciate it. This is cool. We'll definitely look into this. If it actually left marks or dents in somebody's hood, I don't know. Maybe that's more of maybe like a goat man type story. But we'll look into this more. Somebody's asked me several times what are skinwalkers. So, in a nutshell, skinwalkers are Indians who basically can change into other things, like animals. Usually seen as a wolf or a very large dog. Usually it's a shaman that can do this. The medicine men of the Indian tribe. There's a lot of stories on skinwalkers, and a lot of people kind of research this. I think they're interesting. Supposedly, if you see a skinwalker, they basically can kill you and other stuff like that. So that's one of the things that people keep bringing up to me. Another one is El Chupacabra. Good old El Chupacabra. So there's two different types of El Chupacabras. There's an alien-like El Chupacabra that's seen in Puerto Rico. What El Chupacabra means is just goat sucker. The first time it happened, supposedly somebody found a dead goat with a hole in the side of its neck, or holes, or teeth maybe went in, and the goat was left by itself. It wasn't messed with, but all the blood was gone out of the animal. So, but there was no, normally animals eat the entrails. They eat, all the small intestines and all that stuff, because that has the most nutrition in it. Like the livers and the hearts and all that stuff. That's what supposedly Bigfoot eat first when if you're researching Bigfoot. Supposedly that's why they kill deer. They eat the entrails and basically leave everything else, supposedly, because has the most nutrition. I don't believe that they just only eat that. I believe that they eat the whole animal, but could be something they're eating. Anyways, getting back to Chupacabra. So here in Texas, there's been multiple reports. There's actually been a couple cool videos caught of El Chupacabra, and this thing's more like a a cross between a wolf and a coyote. Some people just say it's a coyote or a wolf with really bad mange. Some people say it's a wolf hybrid crossbreed, excuse me. Again, bear with me. But there's been video of it. It's pretty interesting. It basically has no hair. Some of them seem to have like weird markings. They have these really long fangs, much longer canines than most dogs do, at least out here. And they basically seem to go after chickens or whatever. And every time a supposed El Chupacabra attack happens, again, they find an animal with no blood. Usually chickens. It doesn't make sense that a wolf or a coyote or even a dog would attack, any kind of livestock or anything like that and not eat the meat off of them, or at least eat the entrails. That's really strange. So on the investigation that we're doing here, coming up in January, the beginning of January, I told you about the hotel. I don't want to mention the name, but it was built in the 1860s. It seems like Texas, if you're looking at the history of Texas, a lot of stuff came into being around the 1860s. That's when a lot of these little towns were built. That's when Texas really started to become Texas, and not just Mexico or part of Spain or whatever. So essentially, there's a story of a headless horseman down in the area that we're going to be going. So I know everybody's heard the story of the headless horseman, of Sleepy Hollow and stuff like that. So I was really surprised to actually hear about a headless horseman down here. There actually, believe it or not, in our area is an area called Sleepy Hollow. One of these days I'll look into seeing if there's actually any like hauntings or anything over there. It'd be fun to go research that area, just because I've actually been to Sleepy Hollow, and it does get creepy at night. The fog rolls in, just like you see on the movies. The fog rolls in, nobody's out, it's pitch black out there. So anyways, getting back to what I was talking about. So this headless horseman, according to urban legend, it was a wealthy Kentuckian. He had come to Texas to purchase land in the early 1800s, and he went to a quaint town of San Patricio. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that. But anyways, he stopped at this little town. He wanted to buy some land. So essentially, the story goes that he lost his gold to a bunch of thieves, and supposedly they actually cut off his head as well. So now he supposedly haunts a river. Let's see, he reportedly roams the night along the Headless Horseman Hill, which follows from Mathis to San Patricio. So again, I probably butchered that name, but interesting. We're going to look more into that and see if that's actually real, see if there's actually any other stories, and see what else is going on with that. But anyways, I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting a little short of breath because, like I said, I am getting over being sick. So anyways, we'll have some new videos coming out here shortly. The old Park Hotel is almost finished. I had a 2-week delay because I couldn't do anything. I was just basically in bed. But yeah, I will be getting that finished. I will be posting that probably as a couple different videos. That'll go up on our YouTube channel. Again, Deepwoods Paranormal, if you do a search. And our link to our YouTube channel is down below. So essentially, if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, you'll see that link for that video. But there'll be 2 videos. I think Dan LaFave is an amazing guy. What's really cool about the old Park Hotel is that Dan and his wife are paranormal investigators. And that makes it really cool because they know how to do paranormal research. They've been doing it for a very long time. I don't believe in experts in the field, but they're very knowledgeable. Dan knows his location. He knows, he's done the research. He's done all the research for us, essentially. And he talks about that. And it's really interesting to hear him talk about it because he's so passionate about it. And that's what made it fun, is he's just so knowledgeable. Even though I did a lot of research myself, I spent about a couple of weeks researching it. He's a wealth of knowledge. So we're going to post the video of him talking about all the spirits, all the people that were attached to the hotel in some way or other, be it outlaws, be it call girls, be it previous owners and stuff. It's just really interesting. If you listen to that, if you watch that video, I'm sure it's only going to be like a 10 or 15 minute video. It'll help you during the investigation understand why we keep asking for certain names, especially Dan, because he knows a lot of these people. He knows about a lot of these people, and essentially that really helped us get activity. But I will say the place was as active as any place I've been, basically since I started doing this. I mean, we had personal experience after personal experience after personal experience. Another video that will be coming out will be the, I totally forgot the name of it. One of the cemeteries we investigated. Unfortunately, and I think I talked about this before, somebody decimated the cemetery. They went in there and knocked headstones over, threw eggs at the graves, and essentially toilet papered the whole cemetery. I don't really understand that. I don't understand why you would do something so terrible, but whatever. I mean, it's done. So anyways, that basically is that. And essentially, that place we're pretty much done with that place. And you'll see that video come up. And the last video, what was the other video we were shooting? We did another video somewhere else. Bear with me. Like I said, I'm still trying to get over this. It's really affecting me mentally. It's really just draining me. So, yeah, we'll have a couple, 3 videos coming out here by the end of the month on our YouTube channel. So if you follow us on YouTube, again, please be aware of that. Again, we only need about 27 more people to do our hat giveaway on our YouTube channel. If you subscribe and like our channel, we appreciate that. And then, like I said, what we'll do is if you go on the Deep Woods Paranormal website, what we're going to do is the top 3 people, maybe 4 people, we're going to pick them randomly. What we'll do is we'll have everybody leave a comment in the on the YouTube channel. And essentially what we'll do is we'll go through and give everybody a chance to, say they want a hat or shirt. I mean, maybe we'll give away a shirt too. And then we'll pick at random those people. Sorry if I'm all over the place, like I said, because I don't feel good. I'm not my normal self. So, and I showed you the couple hats. We have multiple choices. Like I said, we have 30 different hats. So what we'll do is we'll order those for you guys on the online store, and we'll ship them out to you. So anyways, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you here listening to me just ramble on. A lot of cool stuff coming down the pike. I think next time, the next podcast, we'll probably talk about the Wendigo and go from there. You guys have a great day. And again, we appreciate you listening and supporting us.